This video is now in session. Here I have the Senate map with all the senators that voted for conviction trials being constitutional and those that voted against. There are 6 Republican senators that voted with the Democrats, that being Lisa Murkowski, Mitt Romney of Utah, Ben Sasse, Bill Cassidy. Bill Cassidy is the lone senator that defected, by the way, from last week's constitutionality vote forced by Rand Paul of Kentucky. And then you also have Pat Toomey and Susan Collins. I believe those are all the senators, 6 senators. And I'm going to transition this over to a time for me to flex about all of the senators' names. Now, I don't know all the senators' names, but I'm going to try to recount all of the names, all 100 names. So the rules for this is that I have to say their first and last name, so not just their last name. Obviously, it would be much easier, and seniority does not matter. So even though John Cornyn from Texas is the senior senator and should take up this space, instead, what will happen is I can make this Ted Cruz or John Cornyn, and then I can make this Ted Cruz or John Cornyn. So I just named several or 2 senators, so I'm going to color those dark red. And then the rest, and then for Democrats, I'm going to color them dark blue. If I don't know, I'm going to color them light blue. So let's start from the East, because I usually start from the West, and I want to give the East some love today. So Susan Collins of Maine is the first one, very prominent Republican senator. The independent senator from Maine, though, come on, I know this name. His last name is King, I think, and his first name sounds like a beef product. Angus King, yes, Angus King of Maine, caucuses with the Democrats, and he's an independent. For New Hampshire, you have Jeanne Shaheen, elected in 2008, and then you also have Maggie Hassan. Both were former New Hampshire governors, and then here you have Bernie Sanders, prominent progressive senator from in the United States. Why does YAPMS always do this? It always has like this black screen. Oh, and also I'm going to try to make this a rule where I say all of the names of the senators in less than 10 minutes. So I have to be a little bit quick about this. Ed Markey and Elizabeth Warren, both very progressive senators. Rhode Island, you have Jack Reed and Sheldon Whitehouse. Connecticut, you have not Phil Murphy, that's the New Jersey governor, Chris Murphy, and as well as Richard Blumenthal. New York, you have Chuck Schumer, the majority leader, and Kirsten Gillibrand, replacing Hillary Clinton. New Jersey, you have Bob Menendez, who's pretty corrupt, and as well as Cory Booker. Delaware, Tom Carper, and as well as Chris Coons, who replaced Joe Biden's seat. That used to be Joe Biden's seat. For Maryland, I know Chris Van Hollen, but I don't know who the other senator is, so that's really sad. Virginia, you have Tim Kaine, former vice presidential candidate, ran with Hillary Clinton. And then you also have Mark Warner, Pennsylvania, Bob Casey, and Pat Toomey. And then Ohio, you have Rob Portman, who's retiring, as well as Sherrod Brown. In Virginia, you have conservative Democrat Joe Manchin and Shelley Moore Capito. In North Carolina, you have Tom Tillis and Richard Burr. South Carolina, Lindsey Graham, known for flip-flopping all the time, and Tim Scott, who's the only black Republican senator in the U.S. Senate. Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff were elected as a pair in 2021. Rick Scott of Florida used to be the governor, replaced Bill Nelson, who was a Democratic senator up until 2018, and as well as Marco Rubio. Alabama, Tommy Tuberville, and Richard Shelby, who's also retiring in 2022. Here you have Bill Hagerty, and as well as Marsha Blackburn. Kentucky, Rand Paul, known for not wearing a mask in the Senate floor, and as well as Mitch McConnell, minority leader. Indiana, Mike Brown, and as well as Todd Young. Oh, come on, why PMS? Why do you always do this? Okay, so Illinois, Tammy Duckworth, and as well as Richard Durbin, Majority Whip. Wisconsin, you also have a Tammy Baldwin, and you also have Ron Johnson. Peter Mayer, no, not Peter Mayer, he's a Republican from Michigan's 13th Congressional District. Gary Peters and Debbie Stabenow are from Michigan. Tina Smith, Amy Klobuchar. Amy Klobuchar used to be the 2020 presidential candidate, one of the 2020 presidential candidates. Mississippi, you have Cynthia Loomis. No, that's Wyoming. You have Cindy Hyde Smith, and then you also have from Mississippi. I think it's Roger Wicker. Louisiana, you have Bill Cassidy, and as well as John Kennedy, not related to Jack Kennedy, who was the former president. Arkansas, Tom Cotton, and I think Mr. Barrasso is from Arkansas, but I don't know his first name, so that's disappointing. I'm not sure if Barrasso is even from Arkansas. I may be wrong. Jim Inhofe, known for talking about guns, one of the Oklahoma senators. Other is James Lankford. And then from Kansas, you have Roger Marshall, and as well as who's the other one? Okay, Missouri, you have Josh Hawley and Roy Blunt. Kansas, Moran. Jerry Moran from Kansas, Ben Sass from Nebraska, so as Debbie Fisher, Iowa, Chuck Grassley used to be the president pro tempore, and as well as Joni Ernst, John Thune from South Dakota, Kevin Kramer from North Dakota, Steve Daines from Montana, John Tester from Montana, not West Virginia, Wyoming. You have Cynthia Loomis. The other one, who's the other one? John Barrasso, maybe? Yeah, John Barrasso is from Wyoming. And then Mike Lee, and as well as Mitt Romney, right there. And then Ben Sass, I have to make this there. Okay. Mike Crapo is from Idaho, but I don't know the other one. Maria Cantwell, Washington, Ron Wyden and Jeff Merkley from Oregon, Dianne Feinstein and Alex Padilla from California, Catherine Cortez Masto, Mark Kelly, Kirsten Sinema, conservative Democrat, Ben Ray Lujan, elected in 2020 for the new New Mexico Senate position, John Hickenlooper, former governor of Colorado, and Michael Bennett. And then you have Hawaii, you have Mazie Hirono, and as well as Brian Schatz. And finally, you have Dan Sullivan, as well as Lisa Murkowski of Alaska. So there we go. 46 seats. 46 seats. 46. 94. Nope, I did my math wrong. 92 senators that I know of. I don't know these. So let's go through the list, shall we? Okay. So from Washington, let's start from the West, because we gotta have some equality here. Washington, Patty Murray. Oh, I have remembered her name before, but not from Washington. Nevada, Jackie Rosen, I think, is from Nevada. So if I get this one right, then I'll color it deep dark blue. Nevada, Jackie Rosen is. Okay. New Mexico, I know the last name is Heinrich, but I don't know who the first name Martin Heinrich. Okay. And then Idaho, Mike Crapo is from Idaho. But who's the other one? Jim Risk. Okay. Yep, Jim Risk. I have not heard of his name before, but now I do know his name. North Dakota, Kevin Kramer is one of them. John Hoeven. I didn't know his first name was John, but I knew his last name was Hoeven. South Dakota, John Thune. There's a lot of Johns and Rogers in this Senate. The first names of these senators are not that creative. Mike Round. And then Arkansas, I know, is it Boozman? Oh, yeah, it's Boozman. Also, another John. 3 Johns that I've not remembered. So there we go. John Boozman. John Boozman of Arkansas. And then Maryland. Maryland is the one I don't know. I know Chris Van Hollen, but I keep forgetting the other one. Ben Cardin. He hasn't really made a name for himself in this Senate. So I think that's all the names that I don't know. So there's 7 names that I don't know, and then 93 names that I do know. Ooh, okay, that's actually pretty good, but it's really just like a useless or it's not useless. It's just that uh, if you want to know what's happening in your Senate, just know the thing you need to know is who's the senator from your state. Who are the two senators from your state? So if you live in New Jersey, for example, then your two senators are Bob Menendez and Cory Booker. And if you know those two senators, then you're all good because they represent you. Or let's say if you're from, let's say you're from Texas, then then you should know that your senators are John Cornyn and as well as Ted Cruz. So yeah, that's ultimately what you should know. If you want to know the basics of the Senate, just know who your two senators are, and that makes you start to know more about this system. So that's the end of this video. It was a more of a fun video rather than like an informative video, but we do need fun videos sometimes. And also, this does show all the senators who were for affirming the Constitution and those against. For some reason, I have one extra GOP yay and one less GOP nay. So that's a little bit odd. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. This video is now adjourned, and I'll see you in the next one.